In this presentation, we're covering a couple of topics. Firstly, mostly around how we deal with external marketplaces and, external websites. And we're going to cover, the basics of a simple punch out. We're going to show how we do background search. And then we're going to talk about something new for us, which is our supplier websites, where we talk about bringing the supplier websites into our system and having their classification and attribute structure in place. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the work that we're doing around not contracted prices, but what we call marketplace prices, price and availability, where when we go through the procurement process, we actually get real-time pricing from a supplier so that we don't actually have to do constant updates. And then the final thing, I'll have another discussion regarding Amazon and what we're doing with Amazon. So firstly, let's go and talk about simple punch outs. So with Amazon, let's talk about Amazon and what the traditional mode, and this shows our integration with, external websites. And the most simple one to go to is Amazon. We're doing a lot of work with Amazon at the moment because they have quite a mature B2B platform now with Amazon for Business. And so when you use Amazon for Business, you can take an item, place it on the cart, add it to the cart, and then when you look at your cart, you can submit these items for approval. And what Amazon does, is that they go ahead and place a reservation on that part. So they've committed for a period of time to say they will honor that price and reserve that product for you. So when I submit these items for approval, it goes back to the cart. And you can go ahead and order it. Okay, so here's the Amazon item. So that's your basic punch out with a few enhancements for Amazon. The next thing that we're going to look at is the work that we've done associated with being able to search websites, external websites. And there's a number of ways you can search external websites. There is the concept of background search using OCI standards. There is the way of going out and doing screen scraping. We're going to show a couple of examples for this. So here, when you are searching, you go to our advanced search page, and I'm going to look for a switch. Okay, and so what the system is going to do is not only search internally, and here's some switches that we've got here. And I'm not claiming that the data is the best, but here is some data that we've got back. But we've got an integrated search where we can see the internal catalogs, and we can, for instance, add that item to comparison. So I'm going to add that item to comparison. I can look at the items on the site for RS components, and I'm going to add that item to comparison, and I can look at another website. This is the Becker website, and we can add that to comparison as well. So you can see I can compare products from multiple places. So what I've demonstrated here is our ability to go out and be able to search the different websites through different technologies. With the RS components, we're doing what I would call a screen scrape type of search, where we're going out and we're bringing up the website and using screen scrape technologies. On the Becker catalog, we're utilizing their OCI, background search capability, and of course it's integrated with ours. Okay, so that works, but it's not great. So now I'm going to look at some other things that we're doing with different things. And we're working with a company called Bonneville down here in California, that's in the, the life sciences area. They're a workspace place and they're doing a procurement application. And they did not want to just have a series of punch outs. They wanted to have, the quality of the supplier's website integrated with the hosted catalog. So here you can see we have Fisher Scientific in all its glory, 1.5 million products. And so you can see here now, in the same way, in the same structure in which you can drill down into into their website and search within categories, etc., we've implemented that here. Not only have we implemented to this level, we actually have all of their products in place so that I can, for instance, look at a product and I can see the commercial logistics information about it, how big the packaging is, and basically the technical data that comes from their websites. So, to the extent that we have 1.5 million products involved with the, in the load with, 10 or 20 attributes, this works fine for us. And I think that's unique in the business. Now, where this comes into play is, for instance, where you're doing comparison shopping. So here is the VWR catalog, and that's a direct competitor to Fisher Scientific. And so here, I'm in here and I'm looking at buying an item here from VWR, and it goes out and it does comparison shopping for you. In this case, we're using business rules around looking at supplier part numbers and manufacturer part numbers to find the equivalent items. You can see here, while this is available on VWR, it's available also on Fisher at a cheaper price, and I could actually add that item to the cart. So here we've gone and demonstrated the fact that we can do supplier shops, and we call them supplier shops because essentially we're replicating the searching experience of the supplier website within the application, but it's completely hosted, and the speed at which we can work and that we can search across 3 million products and be able to do comparison shopping is almost instantaneous. And for comparison shopping, that is so much more sophisticated than anything else. But I want to show you something else that we're working on as well. So in the case of Bonneville, they are not allowed to have long-term agreements, 6-month agreements on pricing, because they don't buy enough items. But what they have configured it to do to say is that we've configured it so that Fisher has a capability called price and availability. So we call out to Fisher at any point in time and see their current pricing. And what we can do with that is that when we add this item to the cart or to compare or something else like that, you can see that it goes onto the cart at the marketplace price. And we use this marketplace price in a number of places. And so we're now in the process of configuring it so that we can work with Amazon and have a hosted catalog with Amazon. So this is relatively new, this concept of an Amazon hosted catalog. So a lot of people want to work with Amazon for business, but want to restrict the products under which they can be purchased, they can purchase from Amazon. So here we now have a Amazon catalog, and we can drill down through their classification structures. And these are sort of tentative prices, but when we add to the cart, it's going to call Amazon and grab the current pricing. And then when we create the purchase order, we can send the purchase order to Amazon directly. Amazon is working not only as a website now, but they're actually working as a Granger type thing where you actually get a hosted catalog, you get the current pricing and send them a purchase order, and they will do monthly billing of the orders that are on there. So it's not a credit card process, it's an account-based process. And so we're seeing a lot of interest in our customer base, and we're kicking off our first project associated with what we call the hosted catalog, hosted Amazon catalog at Schindler in the next few weeks. And so just covering out what we did there, we talked about the traditional punch out. We talked about our technologies for background search. And while it's not preferable, we can do those types of things. We talked about how, with people like Equinor and Bonneville, we're taking supplier websites and we're now bringing them back in-house. We talked about what we call the support for marketplace pricing using price and availability APIs. And then we talked about the new mode of working with Amazon, where we use Amazon's hosted catalog and Amazon's price and availability API to be able to order from a hosted catalog to Amazon. And Amazon acts as a single, commercial place where they're the ones that send you the bill. Thank you.